John, can I ask you how you feel about me?
How do you think I feel?
Is West Yorkshire about to open its doors to a hidden and haunted gem?
Stop it! Out! Hey! Get up!
Hello, I'm Yvette Fielding, and this week I brought Most Haunted to West Yorkshire and the very haunted East Riddlesden Hall. Having already witnessed the traumas that lie behind its near neighbours, Bolling Hall and the Black Bull, we thought we'd seen all there was to see in and around the Bradford area. Until now. Almost church-like in appearance, East Riddlesden's Hall has stood at the centre of these tranquil grounds since the 1640s, although the surnames of its numerous owners can be traced back far further in time. A small proportion of the main house was declared unsafe and demolished a century ago before the building passed into National Trust's hands in 1934. Outside lies the hall's crowning glory, a seductive and seemingly serene lake. But be warned, these waters hold hidden depths. 3 souls have drowned here, the most tragic loss being a Victorian child whose curiosity killed him, and whose spectre, we are told, still sorrowfully stalks East Riddlesden Hall. Now, if East Riddlesden Hall is as haunted as they say, you probably think us completely mad to ask 2 people to spend the night alone and in the dark here. Well, that's exactly what John Gilbert and I did last night, and this is what happened.
No. Something just tapped on the
No.
Something just tapped on the panel just there by the side of
No, I just got my hand on your shoulder.
Did you hear that? I'm not sure, but I could have sworn like a...
Is there anybody trying to communicate with us? Don't go!
What's the matter?
I'm sure something just touched my hand.
Give me the key. What do you mean something just touched your hand?
I'm sure something just touched my hand. Just brushed against me. I don't know what it could have been. Trying to think rationally.
It's like, I feel like people are looking at you. You feel like you're not on your own.
There is a story attached to this house, and this room in particular. It's said that during the 14th century, at the time of the Plasloos, the master of the house returned home unexpectedly, only to discover his wife and her lover in bed. So enraged was he imprisoned his wife here in this room and starved her to death. Her lover didn't escape. His body was walled up elsewhere in the building. Since then, her groans have filled the house, and her footsteps have been heard running up the stairs and across the landing, perhaps looking for her immured lover. The great chamber has a mischievous spirit in residence. Housekeepers seem to have a problem keeping the bed sheet flat. As soon as they flattened it and leave the room, it reverts back to its disturbed appearance. Furniture also likes to move, especially this cradle that rocks on its own in the middle of the night. Many visitors have reported strange occurrences here in the Great Barn. The sounds of children talking and playing echo through these great rafters. A dark presence is also known to lurk in the shadows, grabbing at unsuspecting guests.
The whole area around here is absolutely interspersed with prehistoric standing stones, and not only that, but we've actually got 3 10-mile ley lines that actually cross here in the grounds of the hall.
The impressive grounds of the hall are said to be haunted by so many different phantoms. The Grey Lady, she's often been seen walking by the water's edge. She tragically died in a horse riding accident. The ghosts of a coachman and also soldiers have been seen roaming around the water. But perhaps the most tragic story is the ghost of a little boy who's often been seen playing by the pond. It's thought to be the spirit of Edward Johnson Horner. He died here in 1880. He drowned and he was only 5.
The little boy, I thought they were school visiting, because on the property we have children visit in period costume, and he just looked like one of those. You can't be in conflict with what you see with your own eyes. I mean, at that point in time, I was on the property on my own, and the manager said, this little boy has left a school party and I'm frightened that he'll go near a pond. And they said, there's nobody on the property, just me and you.
So we find ourselves in yet another property whose austere outwardly appearance much belies the tales of woe held within. And with a rational head required at all times, parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe has his own ideas on what the night will hold. Do you think this location is almost like a hidden gem because of all the locations we've investigated? We've done over 100 now. I've never even heard of this place, and all of a sudden it's cropped up, and the amount of apparitions that are here, it's incredible.
It is, and at least with this location, we know no other ghost groups have visited, no other mediums, so we're the first group here, and we're going to try and find out exactly what's happened. And in addition to us not knowing about the location, it's almost impossible to do research about it and find out about people that have died here or about the previous accounts. So if David Wells were to come up with the name of the boy, anything connected to the boy, then yeah, I'd be very impressed.
Obviously, in all locations you do a baseline test. Did you pick anything up that was slightly different here?
Given the previous accounts of people sensing a presence or sensing something there in the landing, I was particularly focusing on EMF. And I picked up very high readings of EMF over by the side window. On further examination, I think there's some sort of magnetic component within the stone material itself.
What about ley lines? Would that have an effect on any of us tonight?
Well, ley lines are discovered through dowsing. And as a divining tool, there is no scientific evidence to show that it works. And so for me, I have